Okay, I just got done adding all the things to my character as needed to get my basic points. Other things that I think what we should add would be mirrored and not mirrored when we move. So when we press left and right. Um, this is exactly what we would do if we created an enemy also. We would just have to create enemy movement, which is slightly different. But as far as animation and movement goes, it's pretty much the same concept. We are going to really simply add a couple of other things. One thing you do want to do is make sure your character doesn't go off the layout, or if it does, you have wrap behavior or bound to layout behavior. Really simple, I just click and add another behavior. There's bound to layout. This just means that I can't go off the screen. Alright, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a enemy, and I'm just going to drag and drop this one that I drew before. Looks just like my other guy, except it's gray. So I'm going to use that as my enemy. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to rename it enemy. Make it really simple. And I'm going to go, and before I go anywhere, I want to add a behavior to it. So I'm going to click on my character, or my enemy, and I'm going to add a behavior. Now for this one, I'm just going to add the platform behavior. And I'm going to add bound to layout. And I'm also going to add line of sight to my enemy. So, really simple. 3 little things we added, and then we're going to program the rest of it. One other thing I want to do is I'm going to double click on my enemy, and I want to make sure my collision points are tight around my enemy. Now if I don't want to adjust them manually, I can go up here to the top and there's a scissor looking square thing. I click on that and it closes it down and around it. So I'm going to close that really quick and just set that guy right there. Now we're going to go to our event sheet and we're going to program our enemy to move when it gets close to our character. Now one other thing I want to do really quick is highlight my enemy and come over here to platform behaviors, and there's one that says default controls. I want to uncheck that because if I leave that checked and I push play, it moves the same as my character. Let me move my enemy over here next to my character. So you'll see they move together like they're twins or something. So we want to make sure that they don't do that. So all it is clicking the default controls on my enemy, and then we're going to go to our event sheet. So we're going to add an event. We're going to click our enemy, and we're going to go down to where it says line of sight, or LOS, and line of sight to object. The object that it has line of sight to is our character. And we're going to hit done. And then I'm going to add an action. And we're going to click on our enemy again. We're going to go down to the platform behaviors. And at the bottom, it has one called simulate control. So simulate control left. That'll work for us. So if I push play right now, the enemy will move left when it sees our character, which works. But we also want to make it so it moves left and right. So a couple of things that we have to do. First, we're going to highlight this little area in front, and we're going to right click. We're going to add another condition. It's going to be a character, and we're going to go down to the bottom, and it's not the last menu, but we're going to go up just a little bit where it says compare X on the size and position, and we want it to be less than. We're going to change the X coordinate to enemy dot X and hit done. So really simple. And now I need to copy that and change a couple of things. So I'm going to click right up here, highlight the whole thing. I'm going to use Control C, Control V, or I can right click, copy and paste. But I like Control C, Control V. And now I need to change a couple of things. So where it says X is less than enemy X, now I'm going to make it greater than on this one. And instead of left, I'm going to make it say right. And then push play, and he moves left and right with us. Reason he moves with us is because we didn't set the enemy's speed a little slower. So we're going to click on our enemy. We'll go to our properties menu, and right here it says 330. We're going to make that 200. So it's not as fast as we are. That way, when I push play, I can still get away from the enemy, but it will follow me. Okay? So, as of right now, as far as enemy points go, we get 1 for having an enemy, 2 for having the movement, and we just created that with these 2 lines of code. And the third one is the animation. So if I go back here to the game, double click on here, I can change animation really quick by clicking highlight my animation, click loop. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to duplicate. So I have one image and I'm just going to change, maybe it's mouth or something. Maybe an eyeball. And use the eye thing, or the eyedropper. I'm going to pick this color. And now I'm going to resize the mouth. And eyedropper again. You know what? Why don't I just make the eyes red or something? So now, if I push play, its eyes and its mouth are moving. So that's a simple animation. And unlike my character, when I stop, my stops, but it is always going when it's moving. But that gets you the 3 points, and simple enough. All right, I'll move on to the next video. And